everyone, Danielle here with the first video in the Getting Started series. Since we're just getting started, I figured the best thing would be to start with paper. That's pretty obvious. So we'll just get started with the basics. If you're just getting started, you're obviously going to need a good quality white cardstock. And so, based on my experiences, and trial and error, I found that the best one for me is the Neenah Solar White cardstock. It's an 80-pound cardstock, so it's really sturdy. You get really nice crisp folds, really great cuts. It's good for not only just folding and cutting, but also for stamping on, using with Copic markers if you're interested in coloring, as well as using with distress inks to do some ink blending. So it's a really great cardstock for just all-around use. Now, this is for people who maybe are already into card making. I just wanted to add this into this video because I feel like it's really important. If you are using Copic markers, I would highly recommend at least trying this Copic Express blending paper. For a long time I had been using the Neenah Solar White, and my Copics work great on that, don't get me wrong. But this Copic paper is amazing. I couldn't believe what a difference it made when I was coloring. The colors just blend so effortlessly. So if you're big into using Copics, I would definitely recommend at least trying this once. It is a little more expensive than your regular pack of cardstock, but the nice thing is that you have to keep in mind you're not using a whole sheet of this at a time. It's not like you're making a card out of it. You're usually stamping an image and coloring it in, so it does last quite a while. So after you have your basic white cardstock, you're going to want to probably invest in some different colors. And the nice thing is that a lot of companies offer kind of an assortment pack of colors to get you started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, this is just a sample, but this is by Papertrey Ink. This is the Hibiscus Burst color. It's a really nice bright pink. But this is happens to be a pack of 12. But you can also, through Papertrey Ink, order a nice sampler pack, and it has, I forget how many colors, I don't know, like 12, 15, something like that. It has a great variety of colors. Each will come with a couple sheets, so it's nice to get you started. So you don't have to necessarily invest in 12 packs of all the different colors that you want. I do like Papertrey Ink's paper. It's a great heavyweight cardstock, same as the Neenah Solar White. Folds really well. It's good for stamping on and cutting. I haven't had any troubles with it, so I would recommend it. And they do have a really nice assortment of colors, and I'll just show you real quick. This is the Papertrey Ink Color Swatch Flipbook, and these are most of the colors that they offer. They actually have more. This book hasn't been updated yet, but they do have more colors. But this is just to give you an idea of all the different colors they offer, all the different shades. And if you're interested in getting this swatch flipbook, I recommend it. It really helps me when I'm trying to match colors, because you can kind of flip through and line them up and see what works and what doesn't. So this is really neat, extra little thing to have, not necessarily something you need to get started. So I have been using Papertrey Ink for a long time, and just more recently I started trying, it started with one pack. I started using these Hero Hues layering papers by Hero Arts, and I am absolutely in love. I can't describe, I know it's so weird to say this, but this paper feels so nice. It is the smoothest paper I think I've ever felt. I don't know, it's really just a great paper. And the nice thing about this one is that it is two-sided. So the one side will have the beautiful color, and the other side will be white on the inside. Yours will not come with little smudges like mine already have on it. But it's just a really great paper. I don't know why I waited so long to try it. I love their stamps and inks, so it was silly for me to think I wouldn't like their paper. But so the nice thing is that if you're using it to make a card, your outside can be the color and your inside will still be white, so you can write your little message. Really neat. So it's also great for stamping on and ink blending and all that other stuff. And the great thing is you can buy these packs with an assortment of colors, or you can buy packs with a single color. And the great thing is that they also have pre-cut and pre-folded note cards and envelopes and everything else in all the shades, and they make all sorts of embellishments like buttons and ribbons and inks and everything, rhinestones and pearls to match all the different colors. So it's really great. They take all the guesswork out of matching things for you. So once you get out of your basic cardstock, you probably don't need these things, but I thought I would just show them to you because they're kind of neat. There are two other kind of more, I'll say, special cardstocks that you could always pick up if you wanted to. The first one is that I'm going to show you is vellum cardstock, and I get this through Paper Tray Ink, and it's kind of neat because it is almost like a frosted paper. So it's not totally transparent and it's not totally opaque. It's like a real neat frosted paper, and it's, you know, just like paper. It's not like, you know, really firm or anything like that. But it's fun just to add another layer of dimension to your cards. You can stamp on it. You do have to use a special type of ink, which I'll talk about in a couple weeks when I do a video on inks. But just something neat to have. And the last type is, let me see if I can find a piece, acetate or clear cardstock, and it's exactly that. It's cardstock and it's clear. It has more of a plasticky feel to it, but it's pretty neat. You can still stamp on it. You do have to use a special type of ink, otherwise it'll just smear. And you can cut it and fold it and make cards, or just cut it out. You can make tags, whatever you want to do with it, just like you would with regular paper. So it's pretty cool. And if you did want to make clear cards, I would recommend Hero Arts sells packs of pre-cut and folded clear cards. So it's really nice because, not that it's hard to cut, but it is kind of a pain to try and fold acetate. So they go ahead and take all the work out of it for you and just put them in a nice little pack. And the great thing is that they also come with envelopes, which is always nice because I can never seem to have enough. And they also send you an equal number of these pre-folded white cards, so you can actually stick them, if you wanted to, instead of just using it clear, you can put the white on the inside like that. And for this week, I actually made a card using the clear cardstock, and this is a totally clear card. I haven't finished it yet because I'm actually going to show you a video on Monday of how to finish the inside if you're using a clear card. But as you can see, it's just something neat. Chances are, if you were to make this card and give it to someone, they've never really seen anything like it before. You wouldn't find this in your, you know, local card store, really. Definitely unique. And then the only other type of cardstock that I forgot to mention was one of my favorites, so I don't know how I overlooked it, but it is craft cardstock. And craft, it might be hard to tell through the camera lens, but it might just look like a tanny beige, but it is really neat because it is obviously like a very light brown, great neutral color, but it has like the fibers of the paper in it, so it adds just a little bit of texture and dimension to your cards, and it goes with pretty much any color you could think of, so it's really nice to have on hand. And then the only other thing I want to talk about with regards to paper for this week is pattern paper, because there are a lot of different companies out there and a lot of different options when it comes to sizes of pattern paper and things like that. So I thought I would just share with you a few of my favorite companies and a couple of the more recent paper pads that I have bought. Pattern paper is a great way to add just something fun, some dimension and color and pattern and texture to your cards or scrapbooking. So the first one I'm going to show you is this Kissing Booth by Basic Grey. And it's, I just got it. It's very new. It's kind of, you know, Valentine's Day theme. You can see from the pinks and the hearts and the flowers. But you're not necessarily limited to using it for Valentine's Day. They have some really great deep reds and burgundies and chocolate browns. And then they have some real fun bright pinks and a few neutrals. Some great patterns. I love this houndstooth one. I would have to say my favorite, probably out of this, as you can see, I was already using it. My favorite in this pad would actually have to be this flower pattern. It almost looks like a watercolor painting. I think it's just really neat. I'm afraid to actually cut it. Sometimes I get these papers and I don't even want to cut it because it's so pretty. But then I just hoard it, so. And I really like this one too. So this is a really fun, if you're looking for, you know, Valentine's Day love type paper pad, this is a fun one. And all the pads I'm going to show you are 6x6. Some of them you can buy in a larger 12x12 pack, or a lot of times you can buy individual sheets. So if you were scrapbooking and you wanted to do a 12x12 or an 8x8 page, you can usually buy it a little bit larger. The next one is Echo Park. I use this pad, the Winter Park collection, a lot during Christmas and winter for cards and scrapbooking. But the nice thing about this, number one, I love Echo Park because they always have really fun, whimsical, just funky patterns and bright colors, which I love. But this pack, you don't have to limit yourself to using it just for winter because, I mean, there's lots of snowmen, obviously, and snowflakes, but like this paper, I know it reminds me of like waves, so I could use it for summer, for kind of like a beachy card, or even just a boys card in general, or an everyday card. So you don't have to really limit yourself to using it for just those snowy times of the year. And they have some really just pretty solid papers as well. So I definitely recommend any of the Echo Park paper, but this is just the Winter Park line that I have. Next would be my Mind's Eye. They have a gajillion paper pads, and good luck trying not to buy and hoard them all because they're all really beautiful. This is one of their more recent ones. It's the Love Me collection, and again, it's kind of like a Valentine's Day theme. So lots of hearts and love and, you know, flowers and doilies and pinks and reds. But again, same thing, you don't have to necessarily just use this for Valentine's Day, which is nice. Because they have some regular, you know, just regular polka dots and, you know, this really pretty pink plaid and kind of this vintagey newspaper feel. So you can get a lot of use out of this. So that's a really cute one, and I definitely would recommend looking into my Mind's Eye because they have a lot of great pattern paper. Another company I love is Cosmo Cricut. I like them because they have a real vintage feel for their papers, and so it's a lot of fun to work with. And this is their Clementine paper pad, and I love all of the colors. I'm not real big into red, but I do love the shades that they've chosen for this paper pad. So it's a lot of greens and reds and blues. It's just really fun and bright, and still has a nice vintage feel to it. So this is great for just kind of everyday scrapbooking or card making. And the last one I'm going to show you is Studio Calico. This is their Memoir paper pack. I don't know why I waited so long to get this, because I can honestly say that I like every single piece of paper in this pad. There are some pads of paper that I get that I only like a handful, but I can honestly say that I will probably use each and every one of these sheets of paper. I like all the colors and the patterns that they have to offer. And the other really nice thing about this paper pad is that it's a nice mix of really kind of bright and bold patterns like these up here and this really pretty blue, and more subtle neutral patterns like this one here. A lot of times a paper pad will be kind of all one or the other, all really bright and bold or all really neutral, but this is like the perfect blend of both, and so you can get a lot of use out of this. So those are all my paper choices, and I think that I probably told you a lot and showed you a lot, but I just wanted to be able to give you a good base to start from so you can pick and choose. Those are companies that and brands that I have ordered and used, and I'm super happy with how they've turned out. So that's our week 1 video. It's probably a little longer than I had expected, but hopefully whether you're new or, you know, a seasoned expert at stamping or paper crafting, you were able to pick a little something up today. I'm going to link to all the different products that I talked about below, so you can just click on the little thumbnails and it will show you it up close, take you to a place where you can buy it, or at least give you more information about it. And then I'm going to post a picture of this card. This is my clear card that I made down below, and then I'll be back next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, with a video to show you how to finish off the inside, because I'm sure you're looking at this thinking, okay, well that's great, how in the world am I supposed to write something on the inside of this clear card? So I will show you how you can still keep it looking exactly like this, but still write something on the inside. So if you're interested, be sure to stop back for that. If you have questions or comments, email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And other than that, I will see you next week. Our second video will be all about tools to use with your paper, so paper trimmer, scoreboard, scissors, all sorts of fun stuff like that. So hopefully I'll see you back then. Bye.